Hi friends, here's a Vinyasa Flow for you, moving with breath in the Vinyasa style. It's full body and we'll be moving and breathing the whole time. So grab some water, play some fun music that's upbeat and lively, and meet me on the mat. Hey there friends, thanks again for coming to flow with me today. We're gonna have a nice, fun, lively, full body flow here. I hope you've got some fun music on and I hope you're ready to move and breathe with me. But first, as always, let's catch our breath. Let's make sure we're on the hip bones and seated tall, shoulders back with palms up. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the nose. Awesome. Do that a few more times at your own pace. Just letting go of your day, letting go of distractions, letting go of to-dos, letting go of any physical tension that you can. And instead of thinking on those things, let's turn inward and just notice how we're doing today. How are you doing? We want to honor that, whatever the answer is, so that you can take care of yourself on the mat today. And then let's start to deepen the breath, just matching the inhale to the exhale. Listening to the pace of your breath. And maybe starting to breathe in a way where we fill the lungs from the bottom of the lungs all the way up to the top of the lungs. So we'd like to get a full breath in every inhale. And let it go completely on every exhale. This breath, let's do this the whole flow together. And as far as an intention goes today, I'm keeping it really lighthearted with you. Let's go for one of my favorites, progress, not perfection. That's one we can use on the mat and off the mat. Progress, not perfection. Let's bring hands to prayer pose today. Still seated tall. Our breath is steady. Progress, not perfection. On an inhale, let's rise up through the arms and the sides of the body. Exhale, float it down. Kind of swim your arms back into prayer pose. Good. Big breath in as we reach up. Exhale. Just starting to move with your breath. One more time like this. Exhale, coming back to our prayer pose. Let's keep it going, but let's change it up. On the exhale, let's pull down through the shoulder blades. We want that to feel nice. Big breath in as we reach up. Exhale, pull down, letting go of tension in the upper back area. Moving with your breath. Let's do that 2 more times. This one. And then one more breath like this. This time exhaling, coming all the way down, resting hands on the knees, just pausing for a breath, noticing how you feel, and then touching your shoulder tops with your fingertips. Let's give a few circles one way with those elbows, loosening up at the shoulders, and then let's go the other way with it. Very nice. Let's do the same thing at the wrists. I'm sitting here wondering what everybody's listening to. I have silence. And let's go the other way with that. Awesome job. Let's bring it to prayer pose. Still seated tall, shoulders down the back. Starting with some gentle twists to just loosen up the back muscles and feel good throughout your spine. So on an inhale, lengthen the spine. And on an exhale, twist to the side. Doesn't matter which way. We're going to go both ways. Look over your shoulder. Inhale, come back to neutral for length. Exhale, twist the other way. Start to match that up with your breath. Inhale to neutral. Exhale, gently twisting. And we're just easing in and out of these. We definitely want to be mindful of how we treat our spine. So we're listening to how this feels. Hopefully warming up the back muscles a little bit. And absolutely we want to start feeling the obliques working. So you use those side abs to kind of pull yourself around into this. Let's do one more on each side, just moving with our breath. As an exhale, going one more twist. And as an inhale, coming back to neutral. Good job. Let's come back to that deep breath. And our intention, progress, not perfection. Let's make it to all fours pose for cat and cow. Let's set it up mindfully. We want to place our hands right under our shoulders. Fan the fingers out wide so that you have the best base you can have for your wrists. Give them a little relief here. So press those hands into the mat and then lift up through your arms and shoulders. So no saggy shoulders like I'm doing right now, but strong, active shoulders. Gently engaging the core, and then we want knees right under the hips. All right, on an inhale, let's aim the tailbone up, lift the heart for cow. On an exhale, point the tailbone down, round, cat. Inhale, come back into cow. Exhale, round into cat. Start to move at your own pace. We're moving with our breath. Gently going back and forth between cat and cow. Spinal extension and spinal flexion. We want cat and cow to feel really awesome. Just letting go of any tension in your back. And let's finish with one more cat stretch. Wherever you are in the flow, have one more. And then come reset back to all fours pose. So same thing, strong hands, strong sturdy shoulders, knees under the hips. Let's zip up the core a little more. And on an inhale, lift one of your arms up. As you exhale, twist to that side, reaching for the sky. And then gently bring it down. Let's do the same thing other side. Inhale, lift off. Exhale, rotate. Have a little twist. And then bring it down. Let's start moving with breath on this. Inhale, we twist and reach. Exhale, we come down. Inhale, we twist and rotate and open. Exhale, we come down. We start to move with our own breath and our own pace with this one as well. Off the bat, hopefully you're warming through the shoulders, the arms, the core. Let's think of making sure that that weight-bearing shoulder is really sturdy every time, that we're not sinking into it. And now we're building some shoulder stability. We're putting the hand down mindfully every time we set it down, because it's about to be the weight-bearing arm. Good. Keeping hips level. And last time we'll lift off. And we'll come back down. Take a big breath in. Exhale back to extended child's, where we're reaching through our arms, through the sides of the body, stretching through the back muscles, the shoulders, the arms, and just rest for a breath. Have a big breath in. Exhale, rest. On the next inhale, let's travel forward into a kneeling plank pose, setting up to play with some planks today. We'll start with a kneeling plank. Let's think of same thing, engaging the hands, lifting off through the shoulders, pulling in the core. Kneeling plank pose. To practice our chaturanga today, because we'll use it here in a minute in a sun salutations flow, let's think of pulling shoulders down, easing forward, easing down to the mat without shrugging at the shoulders. On an inhale, let's have unsupported cobra, peeling up. And what I mean by unsupported is we're not using our hands or our arms at all. We're just here building a little back strength, working on posture. Let's hug the elbows to the rib cage, press up, take it back to extended child, stretch. Good job. We'll do that 2 times, flowing with breath. Inhale, coming forward to kneeling plank, stabilize the shoulders. Exhale, ease it down all the way. Big breath in for unsupported cobra, and then pressing up and taking it back to extended child's. One more time. Inhaling, flowing forward. Stabilize the shoulders. Let's shift and lower down chaturanga. And then rest. Let's come into unsupported cobra. And then pressing up. This time let's take it to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. We're pulling the shoulder blades down the back so that we don't shrug. And for starters, let's bend the knees a good bit. Aim the tailbone up so we can lengthen the spine better. Let's have some heel presses. Bend one knee, press the other heel down. Switch sides. Kind of alternate back and forth, whatever pace you want with this. Stretching the back of the legs, bottoms of the feet. Let's have one more deep breath here. And let's step to a forward fold. When we step to a forward fold, let's step hip width, parallel feet, so that we're all set up, ready for our next pose. On an inhale, rising up, swan diving up, reaching for the sky, pointing your tailbone down. Exhale, prayer pose. Good. Let's have a deep breath in, resting. Exhale it all out. Coming back to that intention, progress, not perfection. So, rooting down at your feet, standing tall through your body, and gently engaging your core, mountain pose. We just have hands in prayer pose too. Let's have one more measured breath before starting a couple rounds of sun salutations, just heating up the body a little bit more, moving with breath. So alter and adjust away. If a certain pose doesn't fit you, that's totally fine. None of us can do it all, so adjust as much as you need to. On the inhale, let's sweep the arms up. As we exhale, hinge from your hips, swan diving down. Let's bend the knees, lift to a flat back, monkey pose. Exhale, relax the back in a forward fold. Let's step the right leg back first, pressing through the heel, looking forward in a low lunge. We can always lower the knee if we want to, or we can even bring the arms up into a crescent lunge. On an exhale, ease it down. Plant your palms, step to downward facing dog. Aim the tailbone up, stabilize your shoulders. On an inhale, flow forward into plank or kneeling plank. Exhale, chaturanga like we just practiced. Let's inhale that unsupported cobra and then press up. Meet me in downward facing dog, hips high. Optional always to lift that right leg up first and then hug it through, stepping it forward, lunging right foot forward. Let's look forward, lengthen the back. Maybe we rise up again, crescent lunge, and exhale, ease it down. We'll lightly step to forward fold, and then we'll reverse swan dive up, hinging up from the hips, finishing exhaling in a chair pose. Hips go down and back. Inhale, release the pose. Exhale, swan dive all the way down. Bend the knees, inhale, monkey pose, working on posture. Exhale, relax. This time, step your left leg back. Press through the heel, look forward. Maybe we rise up through the arms, crescent lunge. And then exhale, ease it down. Let's step to downward dog. Aim that tailbone up. Stabilize your shoulders. And inhale, come forward into plank or kneeling plank. Exhale as you shift and lower down. Big breath in, unsupported cobra. And then pressing up, taking it back to downward dog. Option to lift the left leg up this time. Exhale, hug the knee through, step forward, look ahead. Inhale, rise up through the arms if you want to. And exhale, float it down, find forward fold. On an inhale, swan diving up. Finish in a chair squat. We can have arms forward, prayer pose, whatever we like. Inhale, release. Exhale, let's flow down again. On the inhale, bend the knees, monkey pose. Exhale, forward fold, relax the spine. This time we'll step the right leg back. Choose your lunge again. Maybe we rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, easing it down. Stepping to downward dog, hips high, shoulders strong. On an inhale, let's flow forward. Upward facing dog is in your practice. We'll throw that in this time. Let's exhale, chaturanga. Flip the feet, press on up to upward dog, keeping everything active. Let's tuck the toes, lift to downward dog. Option to lift the right leg. Exhale, hug it all the way through. Look forward, lengthen your spine. Inhale, rising up, crescent lunge. Exhale, floating it down, gently stepping to forward fold. On an inhale, flow all the way up. Finish in a chair pose. Last time we'll go through it. Reaching up, lengthen the body. Exhaling, swan diving down. On an inhale, monkey pose. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, relax. Let's step the left leg back. Choose your lunge one more time. Inhale, maybe we rise up. Exhale, easing down. We'll find downward facing dog. Strong shoulders, squeeze that core. Inhale, flow forward. Exhale, chaturanga, flip the feet, upward dog. Or you can do that cobra again. And then tuck the toes, downward dog. Option to inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, we rise up in a crescent lunge. Exhale, we flow down, lightly stepping to forward fold. And on an inhale, we rise all the way up. Exhale, chair pose. Good. Big breath in. Reach, reach, reach. Take up space. Exhale, rest. Have a deep breath in. Catch your breath from your sun salutations. And then step out to face the long side of your mat for some wide-legged squats. When we get to this place, we want to make sure we're stepping out wide enough to actually get some movement in the hip joints. Toes point out naturally, and we want to root down at the feet. Get a good foundation right there. So zip up your core, good posture, have a deep breath in. Exhale, send the hips down and back, and think of pulling the knees back with your outer thigh muscles. Squeeze your outer thighs, helps line the knees up to point in the same direction as the toes, gives them a little more stability. Inhale, bring it up. Again, exhale, start at your hips. So we're hip hinging, meaning we're starting the motion at the hips. We're keeping the spine long and neutral and supported. And we want to listen right now to the body, making sure there's no pain in the hips, the low back, the knees. It's great for hip mobility. If you've got tight hips today, hopefully this feels nice for you. If we want to change up the arms, let's pull down through the shoulder blades like we did at the very beginning, letting go of tension at the upper back. Moving with breath. One more time like this. Changing up the arms again. Let's reach them straight out, palms up. Toning up the arms. We're reaching actively. Reaching up and out in a really active way. So they're starting to get a little tired, I know. Let's do one more, just one more. Come down to your squat, hold it, reach, zip up your core, and then maybe lift your heels. We're listening to the breath still. One more breath in. Exhale, release the heels, reach up, and rest. Woo! Let's walk feet together and turn back to face the short side of your mat for a little chair and airplane flow. So set it upright at your base, pressing down for mountain pose, zipping up your core, and aiming your tailbone down so that we're not having strain in the low back. Mountain pose. Let's have a big breath in. Exhale, relax. On the next inhale, let's reach straight up. Upward salute. We can look up for a second if we want to. And then let's swan dive down, but we'll stop when we're about halfway down. Let's think of bending the knees more, aiming the pelvis so that the tailbone points back, and then bringing the spine to a flat place. So we're drawing shoulder blades together, and then maybe even reaching back through the fingertips. Airplane pose. Grounded at the feet, strong in the core, working in the back and shoulder blades, and working in the triceps, the back of the upper arms, reaching through your fingertips. Now, start to send your hips down a little bit more, reach forward, lengthen your spine, come up to a chair pose. Weight is in the hips. We're strong in the spine. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, go straight to your airplane pose. Activate the back, activate the shoulder blades, activate the triceps. And now send the hips down, reach forward, bring your torso up for a chair squat. And we're trying not to round in the spine, but to bring the shoulder blades back. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it to airplane pose. Stabilize the pose, find your breath, and then gently shift into chair one more time. Hips go down, arms go forward. Spine is long and tall. And if we want to, up to you, we can even make it a little harder by going down one more inch and coming up on the toes. Balancing chair. We're still trying to pull the shoulder blades back and have good posture. Core is tight. Good. One more breath. Maybe go down one more inch. Let's release the heels. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we rest. Prayer pose. And if that didn't go perfectly for you, you're in luck, because our intention today was progress, not perfection. Let's stand tall in mountain pose and have a breath, and then swimming your arms back behind you, reaching for one another. You don't have to actually interlace. If it's comfortable, you can, but if not, just keep reaching. What we're trying to accomplish is simply a stretch across the front of your body, chest, front of the shoulders, all the while keeping your tailbone aimed down so that this doesn't turn into a back bend. Let's have one more breath here. On an exhale, bend the knees, hinge from the hips, ease it all the way down. Relax your arms, forward fold. Let's think of relaxing the head and neck. Maybe shaking your head no, and then yes, gently. Big breath in. Exhale, forward folding. Carefully, let's plant the palms and step to downward facing dog. Moving through a little strength sequence with some warrior poses, etc. Aim the tailbone up. Strengthen up at the shoulders. Again, optional always if you want to lift your left leg up and then step it forward. Use your core strength. Let's look forward. Treat it like we would a lunge at first. Let's protect the spine. But then let's step the right foot in, about a foot for warrior one. I've got a block handy. If you've got one handy, use it. Otherwise, I'll walk you through the poses without it. It's fine. So let's inhale, hinge up, take it easy. Let's root down at the right foot, the back foot. Root down there. Square your hips forward to face the short side of your mat. And then, arms are lifted. We can start to bend the left knee, warrior one. We want to be aware in this pose that there's no pain in the back knee. There's no pain in the lower back. So if you got pain in your lower back, think of bringing your arms down. Prayer pose works too. And making sure your core is engaged. Otherwise, we have arms lifted. We're bending that front knee, having a strong warrior one pose. A lot of work going on in the right glute area and a stretch in the right hip. Let's have one more breath. Exhale, bringing hands to hips, and then hinging down, meaning we hinge from the hips, we keep the back straight. We'll stop halfway down. If you've got a block, we put it at the left instep, whatever height you want. If you don't have a block, you can always just gently rest your hands on your shin. Let's inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, lengthen the left leg. So caution, if you don't have a block and you're resting on the shin, you're just not pressing on it because we don't want to hyperextend the knee. The knee is always a little soft, both knees here. So lengthen the spine, but don't apply pressure. And then ways to increase this stretch for you by deepening the stretch, is by hinging from the hips more, not by rounding through the spine. So think of keeping your spine long and then hinging gently down till you find a stretch that you really like. Let's have about 2 more breaths here. Listening to your breath, matching the inhale to the exhale. And then if you'd like to flow with me a little bit more, we'll inhale, bend that left knee, stack it right over the ankle for stability. We'll shift forward, hands on the floor or the block, whatever you like, tripod, lift off the right leg. We're flexing both ankles. We're reaching through both heels. Maybe we lift up just a little higher, and then we're going to come into a little squat. Bring your right knee, that's the lifted leg, down to the outside of the weight-bearing leg. Point that toe, keep it tight. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squat. 3 more times. Inhale, lift, press through your heel. Exhale, squat, point your toe. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squat. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squat. Now go into a handstand from here. No, I'm just kidding. Let's lift and take it all the way back into our lunge. Look forward, lengthen your back, big breath in. Exhale, come down to that right knee. Inhale, rise up through your arms and fingertips. Exhale, sink into your kneeling lunge stretch. So we're stretching the right hip flexor. You might feel it in your quad and where your hip meets up with your leg. Deep breathing. Just really mindful of the low back, that it's not aching. On an exhale, let's flow the arms down. Plant the palms. Tuck your right toe. Lift your left leg up in the air, and then come down to downward dog. Big breath in. Exhale, down dog. All right, same sequence, other side. Inhale, option to lift the right leg up. Exhale, hug it through. Use that core strength. Look forward. Step your back foot in about a foot. On an inhale, we can sort of hinge up. You can swan dive up if you want to, whatever. Ground through the back foot, the left foot this time. Pull your core in and lift up through the arms. Our hips need to be facing the short side of the mat, so we're always kind of re-squaring them, readjusting that. On an exhale, let's bend the right knee. Warrior One, other side. So it's a constant little checklist to me in Warrior One that I'm checking in, that I'm pressing down at my back foot. I'm squaring my hips forward. I'm lengthening the lumbar. And I'm able to breathe. That's a big one. So find your best Warrior One. Let's have about 2 more breaths. Maybe bending that knee 1 more inch. And on an exhale, releasing hands to hips, hinging from your hips, heading into pyramid stretch, other side. So again, if you have the block, put it at the right instep, and if you don't, I'll walk you through that again. So let's think of squaring the hips again. So we're pressing the right hip socket back and the left hip socket forward. And then inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, start to lengthen your right leg. We come back to the breath. Matching the inhale to the exhale. Never locking either knee. Both feet planted. Just enjoying slowing it down for a second in pyramid stretch. If you'd like more of a stretch, remember, hinge from your hips rather than rounding in your spine. Keep your spine long, be mindful. 1 more breath here in pyramid. And then let's bend that front knee, stack it right over the ankle, and then shift into tripod pose. Lift that left leg up in the air. Let's flex the ankle, press through the heels, maybe lift it just a little bit higher. On an exhale, come down, bring that lifted knee to the outside of the weight-bearing knee, point the toe, lift that leg as high as you can there. And then inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it down, squat. Inhale, press through the heel. Exhale, come down to your squat. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squat, point the toe. Inhale, press through the heel as you lift. Exhale, squat, point the toe. Inhale, lift back up. Carefully, let's step it all the way back to a lunge. Lengthen your back, look forward. Have a deep breath in. Exhale, come down to the knee. On an inhale, rise up, kneeling crescent lunge. Exhale, come into your stretch. So we want to come back to the breath, slowing it down a little bit again, briefly. Zipping up your core. No pain at the lumbar. Tailbone points down to help with that. Now we're stretching the left hip flexor area. No tension at the neck and shoulders. One more breath here. And then ease it down. Plant the palms. Tuck that back foot. And then lift your front leg up in the air behind you. And then return to downward facing dog. Have a breath in your downward dog. And then if you'd like to have a little core sequence with me, we'll do that. If you don't, find child's pose, have a little rest. That's fine. On an inhale, let's come forward into plank. And let's bring the left knee to the outside of the left elbow. Point the toe, keep it high. Let's step it back to downward dog. Now bring your right leg forward to the right elbow, then step it back to downward dog. I think you get the idea. Let's bring the left one forward, step it back, lift the hips high in downward dog. Right leg forward, step it back. Let's breathe with it. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale forward. Exhale back. One more time. Keep it tight. Downward dog, and then to the right side. Downward dog. Let's have a big breath in. Exhale to the knees. Extended child's. You deserve it. Have a little break here. So in your child's pose, we're letting the spine round gently. Letting the back muscles relax. Letting your face and your jaw and your throat relax. Let's have one more breath here. On the next inhale, let's return to downward dog. Walk the hands out, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Good job. Again, it's always optional. If you want to inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, step it through, finding a lunge, looking forward. Good. On an inhale, rising up for a crescent lunge. Let's talk about crescent lunge. Crescent lunge, let's think about pressing back through the heel, through the back heel, and then lifting that back knee just a little bit for more stability. And then we bend the front knee. We pay attention to the lumbar again, that there's no strain. We can reach up if we want to. Woo. So for a little balance pose today, this will be our balance pose today. Let's cross the right arm across the body to the left knee, and let's open that left arm up for a nice twist. Not straining in your twist. Your gaze can go wherever helps you balance. On an inhale, bring it back up to neutral. Exhale, release your right heel to the mat and open up into Warrior Two. So if you need to adjust your stride, always do it. But here we are, Warrior Two. Press both feet into the mat, bend that left knee, and we're hugging the right hip back to try and square our hips to the long side of your mat. Good. Breathe with it. Look over your left hand. Maybe come down one more inch. Let's revolve the left palm up. On an inhale, reach up, reverse warrior. Let's just go straight up with it at first. Let's relax the right arm and the right hand. Relax that shoulder. No tension in the neck. Reach straight up. Breathe in. Make space in that left side body. Then if you want to, you can add just a tiny little bit of lateral flexion if it feels good. On the next inhale, bring it up. Exhale, Warrior Two. To ease back down to the mat, let's put the left hand on the thigh. Inhale, windmill your way down. Plant that right palm. Step back to plank pose. And if you'd like to have side plank with me today, we'll press that right hand into the mat. We'll start to roll on the outer edges of the feet, lifting the left arm up. Side plank pose. So many options here. You can stay right here. You can stack your feet, or if you want a little extra help, you can put the left foot out in front of you for a little support, keeping that knee right above the ankle. Weight-bearing shoulders strong. Eventually coming back to plank pose. So ease it to plank, keep your shoulders safe, and exhale to downward facing dog. Same little sequence for the other side means we'll inhale, lift the right leg up, exhale, step it through. Get your balance. Inhale, we rise into crescent lunge, and let's set it up again. So press through the back heel, lift the back knee a little bit, and then bend your front knee. Hopefully we can get it where it's stacked over the ankle, but we just don't want to go past it. Maybe we lift up through the arms. We're squeezing that core, breathing deeply. Big stretch on that left hip flexor. So to add in a twist if you want it, we'll cross the left arm to the right thigh. We'll inhale, open up into the twist, letting the gaze go wherever helps you balance. On an inhale, flow the arms back up. And then exhale, release your left heel to the mat and open your arms and torso now to face the other long side of the mat. So again, press your feet down, reach through your arms, look over your right hand, and bend that right knee. So we already talked about the hips. We want them to be parallel to the long side of your mat. So if you look down at your hip points, we want them to be parallel to that long side. But now let's talk about the front knee too. We want to bend it. Squeeze your outer thigh muscles so that your knee points forward. Bring it into alignment. Deep breath in. Now revolving the right palm up. On an inhale, reaching straight up at first. The gaze can be wherever you want. You can look up if it doesn't hurt your neck or wherever you feel comfortable with. Left arm relaxing. And then if you'd like to, we can add in just that tiny bit of lateral flexion. Relax your face. Squeeze your core. Breathe. On an exhale, bring it back to warrior two. Hand to the thigh. Windmill the left arm down, easing into a lunge. And then we're going to plant the left palm. We step to plank first. Left palm pressed down, left shoulder active. We start to roll, opening up to side plank, other side, lifting up through the right arm. We're stabilizing the left hand and the left shoulder the whole time. And again, we can even put the right foot out in front of us if we want a little help, or we can keep it in just a regular side plank. Let's all have one more breath. Ease down to plank. Take it to downward dog and come down to child's pose. Whew, rest. Child's pose. Relaxing your back muscles. Relaxing your face. Hold a lot of tension there. Relaxing your jaw. Letting your rib cage expand on the inhale. And letting yourself relax deeper on the exhale. Let's have one more breath here, resting. And if you want to stay here and rest, that's fine with me. If you want to have a couple more work poses, we'll come back up to all fours slowly. And we'll actually come down to the elbows for dolphin pose today. In our dolphin pose, we want to wrap our hands on our opposite elbows to space the elbow placement correctly. And then you can interlace hands like a nice fist here and press down into the mat. That's your foundation. So forearms press into the mat to feel sturdy. So now it's similar to downward dog. We don't want to hunch at the shoulders. We want to pull shoulders down the back, lift up through them. And then heading into dolphin, we tuck the toes, lift the hips. So we're pressing our chest towards our thighs. We're thinking of stabilizing the shoulders the entire time. We can keep knees really bent if we need to, whatever works for us to aim the tailbone up, sort of like in downward dog. And then just releasing heels to a natural place. Zip up your core. Breath is steady. Let's have one more breath here in dolphin pose. Now, just once per side. If you want an extra challenge, let's lift the left leg up in the air. Have a breath. Ease it down. Lift the right leg up in the air. Exhale, ease it down. Stabilize your shoulders one more time. It's important. Then start to walk your feet back, 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 back until you're in a forearm plank, lifting up through your shoulders. We want to squeeze the core. We want to press through the heels. Let's think if we can have 2 more breaths here. Think of how hard we've worked today. Progress, not perfection. On that exhale, come down and rest for a breath. Have a deep breath in. Exhale, rest. Working on locust pose just briefly today. Bringing our arms by our sides, palms up, pulling in the core. And then on an inhale, lifting off into locust, where we're just having sort of a gentle back bend, but we're strengthening the back side of the body. So think of all the good things you're doing right now for your body. You're strengthening the back of your legs, glutes, back muscles, shoulder blades, and then reach through the triceps, reach through the fingertips, activate the triceps. Feel that arm work too. If you want to add in a little shoulder blade work, let's reach forward. Exhale, pull down through the shoulder blades. Inhale, swim it forward. Exhale, pull it down. 3 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. 1 more time. Big breath in. Exhale. And then ease it down. And take it all the way back to your child's pose. Again, to have a nice little rest. So again, in your child's pose, you're letting your spine round gently. You're letting your face rest, your neck, your throat rest. On the next inhale, let's start to ease up to all fours and come down to a seated pose on the hips, legs out in front of you. Good. When we get to this place, find your hip bones again. Sit up really tall, shoulders back. We'll finish with a few stretches today. So let's cross the left leg over the right. We'll put the left palm behind the hip, right arm reaching forward. Let's inhale, think of lengthening your spine. And as we exhale, twist toward that left knee. And think of hugging it in toward your body so that you feel the stretch in the left hip. And continue the twist by looking over your shoulder if it's comfortable. We're seated tall, and we're coming back to our breath. On an inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, undo your twist. Switch your legs. This time, right leg over left. Put the right palm behind the right hip. Left arm reaching forward. Think of just making space on an inhale. Exhale, twist. Again, hug your knee. This time it's your right knee toward your chest and look over your shoulder, twisting. Our spine stays long. Breath is steady. On an inhale, lengthen the spine again. Exhale, undo your twists. Awesome. Coming to a seated straddle split. So we're on the hip bone still. Feet out wide. Toes pointing up in a natural way. Let's have a deep breath in. Exhale, hinging from your hips here in your straddle split. So just like we did in that pyramid stretch earlier. The way to increase your stretch here is by hinging from your hips, keeping your spine long, not by just totally rounding in your spine. So think of bringing health to your spine. You're thinking of lengthening it the whole time and then just coming into a place that feels nice for your stretch. Inner thighs are stretching, hamstrings are stretching. Let's have one more deep breath. Exhale. On an inhale, rise. And then bring your left foot to your right inner thigh. This one's got a lot of cues, so hang in there with me. Let's turn to face the bent knee. Right hand rests alongside the inner right leg. Left arm reaches up and then reaches over the body, having this really nice side stretch through your left side. Steady breathing. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, resting. Let's switch the legs. Right foot to the left inner thigh. Sit tall and turn to face that bent knee, your right knee. Relax the left arm, reach up with your right arm, and then have that nice side stretch. No pain anywhere, no tension anywhere. One more breath. On an inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, rest. Come into a cross-legged pose. Whatever's comfortable for you. Let's think of rooting down at the hips, relaxing the shoulders. Spine is tall. Let's let one ear float to the shoulder. Stretch the side of the neck. Relax your face. Gently bringing the head back up to neutral and going the other way. On a breath in, bringing the head back up, and on a breath out, relaxing. Awesome job. Let's come down to lie down on the mat by holding the back of one leg and easing down, using your core to help you all the way down. When we get down, hugging knees to chest, letting your back completely relax. Back muscles relaxing, spine lengthening. We can place our hands on our kneecaps, keeping knees somewhat together, and guide them around clockwise in little circles, giving a little massage to your low back. And then reversing that direction. On an exhale, let's release our feet to the mat, arms by our sides, palms down. Last stretch for us today with upside down pigeon. Let's cross our left ankle over our right knee and keep that ankle flexed the whole time. If you're not feeling a nice hip stretch for your left side, then hug your right knee to your chest and hold gently at your right hamstring. We can close the eyes. Relax the face. Listening to your breath. And then gently releasing the stretch and uncrossing the leg. This time, let's cross the right ankle over the left knee. Flex the right ankle. And if you'd like more of a stretch, hug your left leg to your chest, holding gently at the left hamstring. We're letting the back relax, letting the breath slow down and head back to normal. On an exhale, release the pose and uncross the leg. We'll bring our arms by our sides, palms up. We'll settle the shoulder blades underneath us so we're comfortable at the upper back. And we can let our knees rest on each other or we can extend them long on the mat to relax. You pick. Let's take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, close the eyes if you haven't already. And have a few breaths like that, where on every exhale, you're letting yourself relax a little bit more. Just letting go. I want to notice how we feel after moving and breathing. And we want to let our breath be normal. So trying to relax your legs. Let your hips sink into the mat. Relax your abdomen. Relax your shoulders. Relaxing the arms all the way down to the fingertips. And relaxing at the throat and the jaw and the face and even the forehead. Just giving yourself the gift of a little quiet time. The rare gift of being quiet and still. So I highly, highly encourage you to remain here for a few minutes, just soaking up the benefits of your practice today. And that is where I will leave you today. The light and life in me honors the light and life in you. Namaste.